Good morning. I am here before sunrise at the Mount Dickerman trailhead, and I am going to be climbing Mount Dickerman. It is the day before Halloween and there is snow on the mountain. It is 32 degrees here, but on top of the mountain it's probably going to be closer to 15 degrees with wind chill. Looking at about 3,950 feet of elevation gain in just over 4 miles. So I am going to get started to warm myself up. A good majority of this trail is switchbacks up the mountain, so it's pretty standard for what you'd expect it to be. There's some really beautiful old growth trees along the trail so far, and we are supposed to get some spectacular views at the top, and I'm really looking forward to that. And my pack is a little bit heavier because now we're going into winter hiking, which means heavier ton essentials and then some. So get used to the adjusted pack weight, nothing too bad. This cool boulder. You can see the sunrise on the mountains. And once again, this is not a creek I'm standing in. This is the trail. A lot of impromptu creek crossings and I guess creek traverses because the trail is a creek in some places. But so far so good. The trail is like some packed dirt and rocks, as you can see in the footage, but it's been a pretty gentle climb. I'm almost 1,000 feet up so far, so should be getting some better peekaboo views soon. The sunrise on the mountains is beautiful. I've just arrived at a spur that is offering some peekaboo views of the mountains to come. It is getting colder, but I'm making good progress. This is just motivating me more and more to get to the top. So this waterfall right here is one of the main hazards of the trail. It's why you don't want to do this one in winter, is because that is actually a very narrow avalanche chute. People have actually died in this section trying to cross here because you can easily trigger just a crazy steep avalanche and then get taken down that way. So this is not one that I would recommend for the winter. Definitely fall, spring, summer. Want that view to get better? Gotta keep climbing. So this is what I've been hiking through for the last like 20 minutes or so, and it is making things very slow going. Some of this is ice, some of this is just straight up running water, and while it is beautiful, it means I am having to be very careful about where I step. So back there, I just got through a very dicey section where the trail is basically an icy creek. Slick rocks, do not recommend. I have to be very, very careful on my footing. I think that's probably going to be the worst part of this trail, honestly. Almost time for micro spikes, but it is winter. Was in fact time for micro spikes. Getting there, should be getting my views of the summit soon. That behind me is the summit of Dickerman, which means I'm almost there. It looks a little intimidating from here, but I'm very encouraged to see it. Boy, after going through that icy river back there, I proved to myself how badly I want this summit, so almost there. that ended up being a lot crazier than I was expecting. Getting out the snow was way more of a challenge than I was expecting. The summit is really cool. It was crowded, so I didn't want to do too much filming there, and it was insanely windy. It is also cold, and so I am just ready to get off of this mountain, or at least off of the snow and ice sections. I did summit, so yay, I have hand and toe warmers in my gloves and shoes now, and now I get to descend like 50 switchbacks. So that is the Mount Dickerman adventure. I'm not going to be filming I think, of the down climb, because it is going to be a lot slipperier and dangerous. So there you have it. This was fun, although my goodness, a decent amount of suffering was done on this mountain today. I would recommend doing this earlier in the season if you're planning on doing it. So yeah, Mount Dickerman, come check it out. I'll film some pretty snow shots and stuff and put them here, and then you'll see me teleported down to the car at the end. Oh my gosh. So coming down, I just saw a grouse, I think. I'd have to look up what the identification is, but I've never seen one. What? I'm so happy. This mountain has been a slog, but that just like made my descent. Oh my gosh. I'll look it up and put in the video what it was. I'll correctly identify it, hopefully. So I survived. I made it back down the mountain. I will say one thing about this trail is the top is beautiful, but boy, the first 3 miles are a slog. I do not know how many switchbacks that was, but it was too many. I'll guess, and maybe if I feel like it, I'll count on a map and put it in the video how many there are. I think it was like 51 switchbacks. That's going to be my estimate. But I will say that this mountain is pretty easy, even in these conditions. If you can trudge to the summit of Mount Dickerman. So there is that. I think that this would be a pretty easy mountain, especially in the summer and early fall. And I will say that even though the approach is a slog, the views are beautiful. I have not seen this good of views of the Mountain Loop Highway, all of the mountains, and getting to see Mount Baker and Glacier Peak up close. Oh my goodness, it was absolutely gorgeous. So I do recommend this trail, just so long as you're in the mood for switchbacks. And I will say, actually, coming down wasn't quite as bad as I was expecting it to be, because it had warmed up, and a lot of the parts of the trail that had ice on them when I was going up, that ice had been hit by the sun and was melted by the time I was going down, so it was just water, and water's a lot easier to deal with in liquid form than solid when on trail. I will also say that, you know, as miserable as some parts of this trail were, for me, I met a lot of really great people. I met one guy who was doing this hike as for his birthday, and then another 2 guys up at the summit, one of whom who had done Rainier twice, which is crazy. So all in all, really great day on the trail. I'm really glad I got to meet some of the people who are out here climbing mountains at the end of October as well. So you'll have to let me know what you thought, and leave recommendations of trails that you'd like to see me check out in the comments. I would love to know what you'd like to see, and where some cool places were your favorite trails in Washington. Thank you so much for watching, and here are some of my favorite pictures from the trail. Enjoy.